Ryuga's death and his battle against Rago is one of the most powerful moments of the entire Metal Saga. Every time I watch the battle, along with Jinga, Kenta, and Kyoya reacting to a fallen Dragon Emperor, it sends shivers down my spine and often brings tears into my eyes. Many people grew to like Ryuga throughout the series, and by the end of Metal Fury, he was one of my personal favorite characters and is definitely the most loved character from the Metal Saga. His friendship with Kenta and transferring of the Star Fragment is one of the most influential moments of the series. However, there's one thing that I was left wanting, something that didn't completely stick with me, something that almost felt left out. So today, I want to talk about the missing piece of Metal Fury and how I think the series could have been elevated as a whole. Personally, it's really hard for me to rank Metal Fusion, Metal Masters, and Metal Fury, although I think Metal Fury could have been the best if it was a little bit different. The main twist and moment from the final battle came when Ryuga was able to transfer the power of the Star Fragment to Kenta, allowing Kenta to bear the power of a legendary blader, although we know from Dynamics that he did not think that was possible, but it was possible because of their strong bond. Except we didn't really get to see that strong bond develop. In the second last episode, Kenta and Kyoya talk about their bond with Jinga before they transfer their power to Jinga. During that, they flash back to scenes from Metal Fusion, and it really shows how they have been shaped by Jinga and their bond with him. During episode 107, Kenta's Determination, Kenta shows up to battle Ryuga, but Ryuga doesn't know who he is. Kenta follows him around, and they end up striking a deal. If Kenta can make Ryuga get serious, then he will listen to him. That is such a great episode because it sets up for the Kenta and Ryuga relationship and gives the very first insight into Ryuga's daily life and more of his personality, especially when he stays behind and doesn't leave Kenta after he collapses on the ground and when we see him cleaning his bay. I got really excited after that episode because I wanted to see how this Kenta and Ryuga arc would play out. Although the show doesn't come back to them until the Tower of Babel showdown, the only thing we see here is Kenta and his battle against Tsubasa, which he loses, but we see him get a lot stronger than before. Although in the end, Kenta just goes to follow Ryuga after telling Tsubasa not to tell Jinga about it. Here we don't see a ton of development or interaction between them at all. The next time we see them is in the Baster Island tournament, where we don't see a ton of interaction between them again. Kenta talks about his training, which leads to him trying a new move in his battle against Jinga. Towards the end, Ryuga tried to steal all of Chris's power, but was stopped by Kenta before disappearing. That was pretty much the only two times they were seen before they battled for real, and Kenta ended up scratching L-Drago's face bolt. Part of Ryuga's character is his super badass vibe. He isn't the type of guy to get involved in a friendship conversation like King and Masamune, although I think it would have been so much more worth it to show his training and journey with Kenta. It was often implied about their journey together, but it wasn't really shown, it was told. We see Jinga and Kyoya train all the time, and Kyoya still carries himself with the vibe of the lion and stays true to his character. Furthermore, the training that Ryuga undertook between Metal Fusion and Metal Masters was often talked about, when Jinga said that he undertook training that we could never think about and when Tsubasa needed to overcome the dark power. Although we never saw that for Ryuga. I was really hoping we would get a parallel story, where Jinga and finding the legendary bladers is one arc, and Kenta and Ryuga is another arc, and then they are simultaneously developed before they intersect at places like the Baster Island tournament. Except the intersection was there, but the road towards the intersection wasn't really there. Something which shows a couple scenes from them every episode would have been really cool to see them develop like that. Or another Ryuga and Kenta alone episode similar to Kenta's Determination. I would have killed to see an episode where Ryuga and Kenta train together and then Ryuga sort of flashes back to his training and mentality that he had to overcome the dark power and continue to get stronger. Further developing the emotional bond with them and giving a little more backstory to Ryuga. I literally don't know who doesn't want more Ryuga in the series. The emotional gravity of the Metal Fury ending and Kenta and Ryuga's arc was so powerful and so moving, although that link seemed a little weak and therefore the emotional bond between them that was seen in the ending was not developed. When Kyoya gave his power to Jinga, the link was there and the bond was developed, although the emotional gravity wasn't the same. I feel like I really couldn't think back to scenes of Kenta and Ryuga that were super touching like I was for Jinga and Kyoya. Their battles, their friendship, their rivalry, and the ups and downs in their relationship. We all know it was possible for every blader to transfer their power to Jinga because of their collective blader spirit and their want to defeat Nemesis, but this is so much more influential as they are main characters, and I just wish there was more development. Seeing a fallen Dragon Emperor fight with all his might was just so moving and so powerful, and I don't think I can emphasize that enough. Jinga and Kyoya and their reaction to his death and how they stood up for his reputation and would not let Rago disrespect him was just really awesome to see. I love how they saw Ryuga after all they've been through. Metal Saga will always be special to me because of this finale, along with a ton of other reasons. But let me know what you think. Was there enough development? Should there have been more Ryuga? And what's your opinion on his death and how everyone reacted to it? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a legendary day. Peace.